Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Halo Wars Definitive Edition. It's time for the Age of Empires studio to turn Halo into an RTS. How does this upgraded version hold up? Halo Wars is available on PC and Xbox, where it will set you back $20, but it is also available via Xbox Game Pass, and to complete the campaign will take you anywhere between 8 to 12 hours depending on your difficulty. So what exactly is Halo Wars? Well, it's the first big Halo spin-off game, this time an RTS game designed to be played on console first, the Xbox 360, and later released on PC and modern systems in its definitive edition. And here's a fun fact: the original Halo made by Bungie was first conceived as an RTS. It's all come full circle. The game takes place 20 years before combat evolved, where all the humans are still duking it out with the Covenant. You play as John Forge and Ellen Anders, one a military guy and the other a scientist, as they encounter the Flood, fight off Covenant, and basically do Halo-related stuff. The story isn't honestly all that engaging, but it doesn't have to be. It's just a string of scenarios to tie the game's various missions together. As Halo Wars is an RTS, you'll need to build up your base, manage your economy, and build units and research tech to outkill your opponents. Those familiar will be right at home here, just with everything trimmed down a bit to make the game more accessible and navigatable via controller. The heart of your military might is your base, which is constructed in a predetermined spot and has a handful of building slots by which you can designate structures. Upgrading your base will allow for more slots, and either conquering enemy bases or exploring can find new spots for new bases, so you'll be able to expand. Buildings are either generators for the main resource, which is supply, or unit producers. These are exactly what you'd expect: barracks for infantry, workshops for tanks, helipads for aircraft, and so on. Generating supply is the backbone of your economy, but you'll also need to build power structures, as your power level will unlock new tiers of upgrades, somewhat similar to Ages in Age of Empires. This will grant powerful new buildings, unit upgrades, and more. Units have a fairly standard spread of strengths and weaknesses, as well as units that are specifically designed to counter other units. Every unit also has a special ability that can be activated on a cooldown, such as infantry tossing grenades, warthogs ramming small units, and so on. The campaign is UNSC only, but each mission generally does its best to mix up the formula. One might have you defending some escape craft, covering civilians as they board, or others might have a smaller group infiltrating a Forerunner structure. The game's 15 missions generally stay interesting, allowing you to master your strategies, and contain things like hidden skulls to encourage replays. The multiplayer should definitely be mentioned. First, there's a co-op campaign, as well as a multiplayer matchmaking mode or skirmish against AI. These face-offs are generally fairly short, as players build up and engage quickly, which makes for a decent amount of fun with a small time commitment. And honestly, that is the gist of Halo Wars. It's a lighter RTS with a ton of Halo flavor paired with some interesting improvements and a fairly memorable story. So what did I like about Halo Wars? Well, the game's missions are the highlight here, with each being unique enough to make the encounters interesting without any real repeats or too many boring missions. Additionally, the game actually does control quite well on controller. Even if it isn't perfect, it's clear the game was designed around it, and as such, it's lenient enough and doesn't expect the same level of precision you might get from keyboard mouse. And lastly, the game has a fantastic Halo aesthetic, which I personally really enjoy. From the music to the now mini versions of iconic Halo vehicles and units, it has a great look and feel. When it comes to the bad, this game might be a little too simple for RTS veterans. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it definitely feels stripped down if you're used to any other RTS games. Additionally, co-op is pretty half-assed, where you basically just split a base and share resources, and whoever builds the unit gets to control them. Kinda dumb. And lastly, no Covenant campaign is a bit of a bummer, but at least you can play them in skirmish. As you know, rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, don't bother. I think Halo Wars is a maybe consider. It's a solid enough RTS all these years later, even with its economy and micro considerably toned down when compared to others in the genre. While it doesn't really have enough to sway the hardcore strategy fans, those wanting a more lightweight and Halo-themed experience will find plenty to enjoy here, and it plays great on either controller or mouse and keyboard. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think of Halo Wars? I had a great time replaying it, as I played it before on the 360, but I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comments and go out there and give it a look.